Hey guys, hi, it's Amanda. Welcome back to my channel. I hope you are having a great day today. As always, if you're new or returning and you haven't yet already, be sure you're subscribed to the channel. Give the video a thumbs up if you like the video and leave any comments, questions, or concerns down in the comment section. I will see you there. Today is just going to be get ready with me, and in this get ready with me, I am going to just talk about the products. There's not going to be any commentary or anything like that. So I am just gonna jump on into it. I have already done moisturizer and everything, so I'm going to jump in with primer. And today I'm gonna be using the Kaja Blur Drop. I don't know if it's gonna focus. This is a pretty lightweight primer. It's more silicone feeling than the other primers I have, and it's quite a bit more tacky than the Tatcha Silk Canvas, which is one that I typically use. It's a good in-between between the Tatcha and the Milk Hydro Grip, in my opinion. So while that sinks in, I am going to prep my eyelids, and today I am going to be using the NARS Pot Concealer in Vanilla. I actually found this. I thought maybe I had decluttered it. I found it whenever I did my I filmed the video of my makeup collection for you guys. That should be posted. If it is, I will link it in the cards. If not, it will be out in the next day or two. I'm not sure which order these videos are going to go up in. I know some people were waiting for my I don't necessarily want to call it a tutorial, but my nail video. I got an email over the weekend that they are finally shipping the shorter nails I had ordered after it took like 2 months because of COVID. So I am waiting to do that video until I get those shorter tips in. That way I don't feel eager to pull off a set I've only had on for a week just to test them out. It's not good for your nails. It's also giving time for my nails to, grow out a little bit and recover some. Although doing the nails isn't super bad for your natural nails. I don't think I'm as good. Obviously, I'm not as good as a professional, so I have thinned out my natural nails by not prepping them to the best of my ability and then them falling off or peeling off, and I lose patience and I take them off sooner than I should. So I have a little bit of damage and brittle nails, so I think it will only benefit if I wait. So that was just a little bit of extra information. So I'm going to set that concealer because it is still very tacky and wet. It's not one that is going to set down, I don't feel. It's been a while since I've used that. I'm going to grab a little bit of loose setting powder and go over the concealer before it has any chance to crease. And for this, I am using the Fenty Beauty Loose Powder in Butter. If you are of a fairer skin tone, this is the one that I would recommend. I believe she has one that's like a lavender undertone, or I might be thinking of a different brand, but this one works really well. And as I've stated in other videos, I am fairly light. I'm a fairly pale person. I typically get my foundation shades are it's always either the lightest or one of the first 2, sometimes 3 shades. It's harder because I do have a very neutral undertone, even though I appear very red. I'm not sure why, if it's just because I'm that light skinned, but it will neutral undertones look better than pink-based undertones. Pink-based don't match my neck or the rest of my body. So for the palette today, I am going to be using the Natasha Denona Sunrise palette. It's one of her not large palettes, but there you go, that's it. And I am probably going to try and go for something a little more sunset-like to get a little bit of that fall vibes going on. I'm probably not going to pick up the palette and show the shade every time that I'm dipping into that, just for time's sake. I'm going to start with the yellow that was on the top called Citrine, and I'm going to, it's like a mustardy yellow, I'm going to put that on the outer corner and then work it into my crease and above my crease as a good transition shade. Oftentimes when I try to get a sunset look, I lose a lot of the first few shadows I place down. I'm not somebody who typically likes to put my eyeshadow very high into, like, out of my crease. I don't really like to bring eyeshadows up on my brow bone. However, I've been trying to work on blowing my shades out more in that area so I don't lose the full shade when I start packing on other colors. So that is something I personally have been working with. I do tap off my brush in between each time I go in, because these, although I really enjoy Natasha Denona's formula, they are rather powdery and can have quite a bit of fallout if you don't do that. And even on this eye, like, I have some fallout down here already. As we get into some darker shades, you may see that more. To try and reduce that, I have always just tapped off the excess. I can see where some people might think that's a waste of product, which I guess to a degree it is, but I don't think you are losing that much. So there is the initial shade put down. It looks really yellow right now. And then I'm going to get a little bit smaller of a blending brush. And most of my brushes are stained. So then I'm going to go into this orange shade that was down at the bottom. Carnelian, I believe is what it's called. And I'm going to focus this a little bit further down. So not so much exactly where I put that other shade, but almost identically. It's just going to be a little bit further down in my crease. And I'm just trying to, I always work very quickly, but at slow little increments. So although I'm moving along rather quickly, in my opinion, I am not just slapping on a whole bunch of pigment and hoping it will work out. I'm grabbing just enough pigment to lay it down, and then I layer on top of it to get the color. And then once I have the placement where I like it and the opacity of which I like, if it needs further blending, I will go back to that original brush I used with the yellow, dip into the yellow slightly, and go over all of those edges once again, just to keep it from getting muddy or having any too harsh of lines. Just a quick go over if you have any harsher lines or any areas that you want to work on longer. to me, I have learned, for me rather, I have learned, you know, kind of giving it the time if you feel it needs the time. I am not a perfectionist when it comes to my eyeshadow, so I don't spend as much time trying to make sure it's perfect, and I'm okay with that. If you want to take a longer time and focus your attention on it more, there is absolutely nothing wrong with that. So now I'm going in with a more red color. This is the shade Jasper. It was in the bottom next to that orange shade. And I'm going to primarily focus this on the outer part and slightly bring it into the crease just a little bit. And then I'm going to do the same on this side, which my right eye, typically one eye always looks better for me than the other, and it really just depends on the day of which one is going to turn out better. I do have slightly hooded eyes, so whenever my eyes are fully open, you can't see all of my lid. And I am somebody who is constantly trying to watch tutorials on how to, you know, remedy that. A lot of other YouTubers and pro makeup artists recommend, from what I have seen, if you have hooded eyelids, to do your eyeshadow with your eyes open. So I am looking at a mirror down, and that's why I keep tilting my head down. That way my eyes are open so I can see what it's going to look like when my eyes are open for other people. That is typically about as many shades as I will do in one look. If I try to incorporate too many others, I lose myself and then I get super frustrated. So I typically only keep myself to 2 or 3 shades worked into my crease. And then I always take a shimmer shade, or if I'm going for an all matte look, a light matte color all over the lid. So for this, I am just going to grab one of these peachy colors, peachy golds, and I'm going to use my finger. And I'm just going to tap that on my eyelid in all of the free space. There are some tools now, silicone tools, to help with this. Also, the cheap sponge applicators that come in sets, or you can get them sometimes with makeup palettes. Those are really good for actually placing down shimmer shades. I don't have any at the moment, so I'm resorting to my finger. I find, and most people do find from what I have seen, that applying shimmers with your fingers typically gets the best shine. I do not ever, which I've never talked about before, I don't think, I never put eyeshadow shades on my bottom eyelashes. That is a personal preference of mine. There's really no reason in particular other than I haven't mastered the ability to place colorful shades and blend them out and it not look like I punched myself. No matter what kind of shade I try to put down there, whether it's, you know, the same like orange yellows, or even just like to try and provide some definition, I always end up dragging it too far down and it looks like I got hit. So I have just always opted to not put any eyeshadow down there. Sometimes I will put eyeliner in my waterline, but even that is not a super common thing for me to do. I am now going to use my Anastasia potted black eyeliner, and for this I don't know if I will be in focus. I am somebody who you probably shouldn't watch do their eyeliner because I do tug on my eyes slightly. And I'm not going to do anything too crazy today. I typically don't with eyeliner. Sometimes I will wing it out. And the days that I do that, I typically don't wear any other eyeshadow. Sorry for the awkward silence, but I think I've talked about this before. I am not the best when it comes to eyeliner. In high school, I could just... Sorry, in high school, I could just slap on eyeliner without a problem. I could use a pencil, I could use a felt tip, a brush tip, had no issue no matter what kind of applicator it is. I went several years without doing eyeliner and just doing like eyeshadow, and it's been hard reteaching myself or getting used to it. So I have found that using potted eyeliner with an angled brush is the easiest method for me because I can literally just stamp it on. So it's kind of a cheat. So if you are somebody who struggles with doing eyeliner, maybe try that method. Get a potted gel liner and just get an angled brush and stamp it on. For when I do my wings, I utilize the angled brush to the most of my abilities and place it where I need to on each eye. Hope I have the right angle and just stamp it on and then drag it in. But that is how I have been able to get by with my lack of abilities in eyeliner. So I am going to curl my eyelashes really quick. I hate this. I don't always do this. I've talked to you guys about this a couple of times. There is a few recommendations for mascara for me to try, which I will. I'm trying to just go through the ones that I have currently, which again, if you haven't seen and you're interested in it, you can see my makeup collection video. I believe that is going to be posted before this one. So I'm going to just do a light layer of this. And then I'm going to do my face products. This is most days how I do my makeup, is I will do my eyeshadow first and then I will go in with my face products. That way any fallout or any mess I may have made is easily fixable while I'm doing my face products. So since I already put my primer on and it's nice and sunk in, today I am going to use the Pure 4-in-1 Love Your Selfie Foundation. This is a foundation that Raw Beauty Christy raves about. Most of her products and her recommendations I am spot on with and agree with. This is one that I am really on the fence with. I've been using this for, man, like 7 or 8 months, and it looks fantastic for like the first few hours for me. And then I don't know if it's me. I don't know if I've tried it with different primers. I'm not sure what it is, but this foundation just doesn't wear the best for me. And typically what works well for Christy works well for me. So this is the first time that I've had a product of hers that my experience wasn't very, very similar to hers, like through and through. So take that with it what you will. If I'm doing something that's only a few hours long, I will typically grab this foundation. If it's like for daily work or something where I want my foundation to last, I will use one of my tried and trues, and that would be either the Fenty or the Estee Lauder Double Wear. But I am out of my Estee Lauder and I am getting low on my Fenty, and I've been trying to cut back on purchasing makeup just because I have so much. I really have been trying since we moved and a little bit before then to be careful and like mindful of buying new makeup products, just because I have so many that I really do need to try and make an effort to work on. So most days I do apply my foundation with a brush, especially now that my skin is more normal than dry. Typically my skin's always been on the normal side, but it has always had a few dry patches. I've been really utilizing a lot of skincare to help with that, and I find that I'm able to now use a brush for my makeup, my foundation application, and it not look super streaky or patchy or clingy in some areas. The area in between my forehead is my hardest area, and that's more because I don't, which I'm sure you guys can tell, I don't pluck my eyebrows or anything. I don't shape them at all. I don't have a lot of brow hair to begin with, so I don't have a unibrow, but we all have like hair all over our face, and I find it's harder there. I have gotten those, what are they called? I don't know what they're called. Those little face razors for like peach fuzz and stuff. I have one of those and I've tried it before, and I really don't like, it's not the feeling that I don't like, it's the, when it starts growing back in, I don't like how that looks. It almost makes it worse for me. So I am going to set my face with the Fenty Beauty loose powder. This is not typically what I opt to do because it can be super messy. I typically will set my face with a pressed powder versus a loose powder. But since it's out, I'm going to go ahead and use it. Also, you will see in my my makeup collection video, one of the powders I typically use, my Rimmel Stay Matte, has busted. I need a new one, and my Fit Me is running, it's hit pan pretty hard, so I am using some of my loose powders, and I really don't mind using loose powders. I think they set the makeup really well, and they blur. This one in particular kind of blurs my pores more, but it's just so messy. As you guys have noticed, and I don't think I've ever really addressed it, I do not typically put concealer under my eyes. That is not because I don't have under eye bags, because I do. My under eyes are rather crinkly. So if I've noticed when I do put concealer under my eyes, it looks even worse than what it actually is. It almost accentuates it. So I have stopped putting concealer under my eyes almost entirely. It is rare that I will actually put concealer under my eyeballs. This is the Fenty Beauty in the Sun Bronzer. This is my Holy Grail bronzer. It used to be the Marc Jacobs, and then once I got this when it launched, this is the bronzer I use every single day. And I really don't see myself changing from that. It's just easy. It's not too dark for my skin tone. I feel it provides like the best natural-ish, as natural as I can get it, bronzing, contouring. I kind of am one of those people who try to knock it out with just the same product. I don't try to go in with two different products to accomplish, two different things. I kind of just put it in the same areas as you do for contouring and bronzing. I could be cheating. Typically after that, after I put bronzer down, I do go over it with my big brush that I put my, what was it, my finishing or setting powder on with, just so I don't have any harsh lines. As you guys can tell, this is taking me longer, and I said this in my last Get Ready With Me. This is taking me longer because I'm talking to you guys and I'm talking about the products. It literally only takes me like 10 to 15 minutes to actually get ready in the morning, and I try to take every step possible to prevent my makeup from looking harsh or having harsh lines. Obviously, I'm not trying to make it look like I don't wear makeup, but I want it to be somewhat natural and not look like I just quickly, you know, threw on a line of bronzer or blush. And for daily wear, I do not wear highlight, but I will put a highlight on for you guys today. The one I gravitate to if I'm going to wear a highlight is the Wet n Wild highlight that I have. I feel like it suits my skin tone well, and it doesn't provide any like too crazy like shininess. So, oh, and the highlight I used was the Wet n Wild Blossom Glow. The Wet n Wild highlighters, a lot of people rave about, and they really shouldn't be slept on because they're awesome. Yeah, you can see my light behind me. Sorry, I needed to grab a lip gloss. Today I am gonna put on the Patrick Ta. She's an influencer. His lip glosses are lovely. Another person, I want to try Lunar Beauty's lip glosses. Raw Beauty Christy raves about one of those lip glosses in particular, and I really want to try it. I have tried to find it in the Sephora near me, and it just, I haven't been able to, and it's not so close to me that I can check often. So I might, and I think I've checked online and it wasn't available. I may just have to order it from his website. Not that I'm not trying to order from his website. I'm one of those people who's a creature of habit. If I typically buy from a store, I try to continue to buy from that same store just because of habit. So this is the final look. I feel like I didn't do too bad. The orange kind of, I don't know if you can really see the orange. Hopefully it's doing it justice. It's not as glittery as most of my eye looks end up, but for daily wear, this is something I would wear to work. I wouldn't feel, you know, like I was going too far with my eyeshadow. So if you are in a work environment, if you think this is appropriate, you really just need a couple of shades. Any palette will do. If you have a palette with a little less pigment or quality to it, you're just gonna have to work with it, but you can get the same type of result with just taking your time and being patient. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. I should have my nail video up in a couple of days. Otherwise, I know there's a few other ideas I have cooking. So you will see normal pre-recorded videos back coming, and I will continue to do my lives and let you guys know when those will be in my community tab. With all of that being said, I hope you guys have a good day, evening, night, wherever you are, and I will see you next time. Bye guys.